Hello and welcome to this tutorial on cooperative care, specifically on the chin rest behaviour. If you're new to cooperative care, it's something that we can do to get our dogs to opt into something that we need their involvement in. This is usually stuff like touching or handling them, health checking them, grooming them, taking them for a vet check, or applying treatments such as eardrops or eye drops, or even brushing their teeth. The chin rest is one of my favourites because it's really easy to see when our dog is opting in versus when they're opting out. For the chin rest, if your dog keeps their chin nice and pressed down into whatever you're asking them to chin rest onto, it means that they're opting in, that they're happy for you to handle them, treat them, etc. If they lift their chin up, they're asking for a breather, you stop treatment, and then they can regain themselves, recombobulate their thoughts until they're ready to go again. So without further ado, let's get stuck into it. Your first task for this is to teach your dog to target something with their chin. For this example, we're starting out with targeting your lap because it's one of the easier ones to train. If you've got a dog that can be a little bit more aggressive with touch, is more of a bite risk in the home, then you might want to watch this bit just for a little bit of context and then skip on to the end of the video where we demonstrate the same techniques, but by targeting a chin to something else like a chair or a table. This first one is literally just getting your dog to target you or the object. So you're just going to be using treats to lure them in and treating them off of your lap. You can just dig your little treats in between your legs a little bit so they have to really apply pressure, or you can apply it to the top of your legs and then add the pressure as you go through, depending on your dog's preference. But here's an example of this one in action.
Good boy.
Perfect. So once you've been able to get that and your dog is doing it really reliably every time you offer a treat lure onto your lap, it's time to start doing something called fading out the lure. This is where we're asking our dog to do the same behavior, but without the treat to bribe them into it. So instead of using the treat to guide their nose and their chin onto your lap, you're now just going to start pointing to your lap. If you've done the initial step enough, they should just follow your point, apply pressure down with their chin, and then you can mark them using a marker word. So for this example, we're using yes, and then reach back, get a treat, and treat them in position. That means you're treating them from your lap at this point. We are not treating them away from there. So you're going to point to your lap, they're going to follow it, put their chin on your lap, you're going to say yes, and then reward them from your lap. Let's give that one a go. Great. Once you've got that one down and your dog is doing that really reliably, and when I say reliably, we're doing it about 9 times out of 10 tries, it's time to move on to building in some duration. So if you've met me before, we always go on about 3Ds whenever we're training a new behavior. Those 3Ds are duration, distraction, and distance. We're going to be starting off with duration for this one, which means that we're asking them to hold a chin rest with nothing else going on in the environment. We start small, so we're just asking for 1 to 2 seconds to start off with. And as their confidence grows, you can quickly escalate this up to 10, 15, 20 seconds. Depending on your dog's faith and trust in this process, it's going to take you a different length of time. Don't be afraid of doing multiple sessions at 1 to 2 seconds if that's what works for your dog, before then escalating up to the 10 seconds. If your dog is consistently lifting their head up before you're able to reward them, it means you're asking too much too soon. So drop down to a shorter duration, practice more at that level before then trying to escalate it to the next installment. Let's give that one a go.
Yes. Yes.
Once you've got to that 15-second duration, we're going to start introducing distraction. For this is the movement of your hands. So we're going to start off with a really small movement. For some people, that might just be a little lift up and a little put down. That's absolutely fine. As your dog starts to get used to that, we're going to start escalating that distraction, that hand movement, until we can do a full rainbow. Every time we do this, we're going to be rewarding our dog for staying with their head down for each movement. So it would be move, yes, reward. Move, yes, reward. If you find when you're doing a full rainbow, your dog isn't quite getting there and they're stopping about this point, it just means you want to be practicing at that point before you then again escalate to the next level of difficulty. Each dog takes their own amount of time with this, so just go at your dog's pace. But here's a little example for you.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So once you've got that little rainbow nailed down, we're going to start introducing movement towards our dog, which is the next level of difficulty. So we're just going to orientate our rainbow slightly different, 90-degree angle, and it's going to go from the tip of their nose to the back of their head. We're going to start off by just aiming towards their eye level, coming back, and then marking and rewarding. And then after they can do that 10 times, we're going to start going towards the back of their head, coming back, marking and rewarding. Let's give that one a go.
Yes. Yes.
Once your dog is comfortably holding their head to your legs for that procedure of you moving your hand from their nose to the back of the head, you're ready to start incorporating some touch into your training. To start out with, we like to pick an area on the body that our dogs are comfortable being handled. For most dogs, this will be the shoulders or the chest. So you'll see in this example here that I'm doing the exact same as I did for the 90-degree rainbow from nose to head, but that I'm then moving my hand a little bit further and leaving it to rest onto Dougal's shoulder just for a second, coming back, marking and rewarding. Here's a demonstration of that one.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And then once your dog has gotten used to touching on the shoulder or something else that they're more comfortable with, we can start to escalate to moving all across their body. So you'll see in this next video that I start moving my hand from Dougal's back of his head all the way down to his bum, and that's getting him used to have a full body rub down. You can then start to incorporate other parts of the body. So you might want to start moving your hands up and down legs, maybe handling the tail. You can also introduce things like moving the eyebrows up and down so you can access their eyes for eye drops, or lifting ear flaps for ear treatments and ear checks in the future. But take it gradually, go at your dog's pace. If they lift their chin up at any point, stop and go back to where they were comfortable before until you are ready to escalate again. Here's the example.
Yes. 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 Okay.
Once you've gotten your dog used to doing all of this with their head on your leg, then you can start to get them to target something different. So this is where you can use a chair, a table, your hand, any other object that you want them to be putting their head onto for this. This is a really useful one for if you need to clip their nails at all, or do anything else to do with their feet or backside. This is one where I've used a piano stool in this one, but you can use anything that you have available that should be roughly your dog's shoulder to head height, so it's comfortable for them to rest on. But we'll see an escalation that follows very similarly to the ones that we've just done, just with them targeting a different area. So for this one, we are starting out just by using a food law to build up that behavior in a different environment. And now we're fading out the food law, just pointing and then marking and rewarding in place.
Yes. Yes.
Now we're going to ask for a little bit of duration, again, gradually building it up. If you've already done this before, you'll be able to escalate through the durations a lot more quickly than you did your first time. If this is your first time, remember to keep going really slowly, take it at your dog's speed.
Yes. Yes.
Once you've got good duration of about 15 to 20 seconds, you can go ahead and start adding in distraction exactly as we have done before.
Yes. 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 Yes.
At this point, if this is something you wanted to work on with your dogs, especially for veterinary intervention, you can get yourself a child's toy stethoscope. This is really useful for helping them understand what the stethoscope is, realize that it's not scary, and get them used to holding that chin rest whilst the stethoscope is being moved up and down their body. To start out with, they're going to be suspicious of you just having this around your head, so you might need to start off really nice and easy by just using a point to the chin rest target and then marking and rewarding for holding it. Then we'll start introducing movement of the stethoscope exactly as we did introduce movement of our hands, before eventually moving up to touching their body with the stethoscope and moving it around on the ribs, just as the vet would do in a consult. This is the example.
Yes. 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 Finish.
Once you've done all of this, you have the foundations of a good cooperative care opt-in behaviour. So do start using it in different places. Do it in different rooms of the house, take it out and about with you, do it outside. And when you're ready, you can start doing this in grooming salons and vet surgeries as well. That is hard mode for this training exercise. So make sure you've really put the work in at foundation level before you then try and take it out into these more nerve-wracking places with your dog. When you take them out and about, you might need to go a little bit easier for them, take it back a few steps, and then build it back up as they start to feel more confident and trusting in you and the situation. But well done. If you followed this video all the way to the end and you've been able to implement all of these steps, you have yourself a chin rest. So go out, practice, and enjoy this newfound trust with your dog.